But this one coin could change your life forever. Today, I'm going to show you the shocking truth behind the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin so rare and mysterious that collectors are scrambling to find it. Most people think pennies are worthless, but what if I told you that one ordinary-looking penny could literally make someone a millionaire? Not $10, not $100. I'm talking about $1 million. And the story behind it is stranger than fiction. Back in 1982, the United States Mint was going through a quiet revolution. Copper was becoming expensive, and the mint decided to switch most pennies from nearly pure copper to mostly zinc. But not all pennies were created equal. Some slipped through the cracks. Some were struck at the Philadelphia Mint without any mint mark at all, made entirely of copper. These 1982 no mint mark pennies are incredibly rare, and the difference between a regular penny and one worth $1 million is microscopic, literally in the metal. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, thinking it's just a penny, only to realize it's $1 million coin. That's the thrill collectors feel every time they stumble across one. And people have found them in the most ordinary places: drawers, old jars, even the bottom of their purses. Some stories are heart-stopping. A retiree cleaning out his attic finds a single penny tucked inside a dusty old box, and that penny is now worth $1.8 million. Imagine the emotional shock, the disbelief, the joy, all from one tiny coin. First, you need to check the date. It must be 1982. That's the year the mint changed the composition, and only a very few pennies were struck in pure copper without a mint mark. Second, look closely at the color. A true 1982 no-mint mark penny has a deep reddish-brown tone. Not the dull coppery brown you see in a jar full of everyday pennies, but a richer, almost glowing hue. Third, weight is critical. A copper penny weighs 3.11 grams, while the zinc ones weigh only 2.5 grams. You don't need a lab to weigh it. Even a precise kitchen scale will give you a clue. Collectors have spent years chasing these pennies, and some have paid tens of thousands just to verify a single coin's authenticity. But the payoff is staggering. One genuine 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny can be worth over $1 million. And the excitement isn't just about the money. It's about the hunt, the discovery, and the story you can tell about finding something so rare in a world full of ordinary things. Many of these pennies were never released in circulation. They were tucked away in mint bags, destined to be melted down. That means every 1982 no-mint mark penny in circulation is almost like a tiny miracle. The odds of finding one are slim, but not impossible. People find them in rolled coins, in their change from decades ago, even in old coin collections that families forgot they had. Now, let's talk about verification. Even if your penny looks right, you'll need an expert to authenticate it. Grading companies look for very specific details: the exact font of the numbers, the depth of the strike, the metal composition. Once verified, your coin could be insured, displayed, and yes, potentially sold for millions. Imagine holding a penny that can literally make your financial dreams come true. Every few minutes, a collector somewhere discovers another piece of this puzzle. And it doesn't matter if you're a casual collector or someone who's just been saving pennies in a jar. The opportunity is real. The 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary treasures are hiding in the most ordinary places. A coin no bigger than your fingernail could provide a financial windfall that most people only dream about. And unlike lotteries or risky investments, this is tangible, real, and historically significant. There's a story behind every penny, but a 1982 no-mint mark penny tells a story of scarcity, change, and unbelievable fortune. People have literally cried tears of joy when discovering one. It's a mix of shock, disbelief, and gratitude. And the best part? You don't have to travel to a faraway country or inherit a hidden fortune. This coin could be right in your pocket, your drawer, or that dusty old coin album your uncle gave you years ago. Check your pennies. Really check them. Look for that 1982 date. See if there's no mint mark. Notice the deep reddish copper tone, and weigh it if you can. Even one misstep could mean missing out on $1 million discovery. Every ordinary-looking penny could be hiding a secret, and the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is the ultimate example. Collectors are hunting for this penny like it's the holy grail of coins. Auctions have seen record-breaking bids, and private sales have stunned even seasoned numismatists. One coin, worth over $1 million, can redefine someone's life overnight. And it all comes down to being in the right place, at the right time, with the right penny in your hand. Remember, this isn't just about money. It's about history, rarity, and the incredible thrill of discovery. Every time you pick up a coin, there's a chance you could be holding something that others would give anything to find. The 1982 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's a symbol of luck, diligence, and the unexpected treasures of everyday life. Now is the time to take action. Look through your old coin rolls, check that jar of pennies on the counter, and examine every 1982 penny you can find. The next story of a millionaire being made could be yours. And while most people throw away or overlook their pennies, you could be the one to uncover a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. You might be holding $1 million secret in your pocket right now. I mean literally, a single penny from 1981, with no mint mark, could be worth over $1 million. And the craziest part? Most people don't even know it exists. Imagine the shock if the coin you've been flipping in your wallet for decades suddenly became a life-changing treasure. The story of this penny begins in a small Philadelphia mint over 40 years ago. In 1981, coins were being churned out by the millions, but a rare few slipped through with a hidden anomaly. No one expected these pennies to become legends, but over time, collectors began noticing something strange. Something subtle that could turn a simple penny into a seven-figure prize. It starts with the date. On most pennies, the 1 and the 9 are perfectly aligned. But this particular coin shows a faint doubling. It's almost imperceptible to the casual eye, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. That doubling alone can mark the difference between a coin worth a few cents and one worth $1 million. Now, think about what that means. Every pocket, every jar, every old purse could be hiding this treasure. People have been tossing these coins aside for decades, never realizing that they were holding $1 million key to a dream they didn't even know existed. Here's how to check your coin. Look at the obverse, the front side. Focus on Lincoln's shoulder and the date. Is there a faint doubling in the numbers? Look closely at the letters too. The slightest shadow or extra line could be the marker of this extremely rare coin. Then flip it over and examine the back. The Lincoln Memorial should be perfectly centered, but in these rare pennies, there can be tiny shifts in the lettering or spacing. Every detail matters. Collectors have described the feeling of finding one as surreal. One moment, you're just sorting through loose change. The next, your heart is racing because you realize you've just stumbled onto something incredible. Imagine holding a coin that can change your life forever, that can instantly transform your financial future. But what makes this coin truly fascinating is the mystery surrounding it. How many were actually minted? No one knows for sure. Experts estimate a few hundred at most. That's hundreds of chances and decades of circulation, yet so few have been identified. Every discovery reignites excitement in the collector community, and stories of sudden wealth spread like wildfire. The emotional impact of finding one is hard to put into words. People cry. Some can't believe their luck. And it's not just about the money. It's the idea that an ordinary object, overlooked and forgotten, could contain the power to rewrite your story. That's the magic of this penny. Even if you're new to coin collecting, don't let that stop you. These pennies are surprisingly identifiable if you know the signs. Always check the date and mint mark first. The no mint mark is critical. Coins from Philadelphia with a missing mint mark in 1981 are extremely rare. Combine that with the subtle doubling of the date, and you have the perfect storm for $1 million find. Every minute that passes, there's a chance that someone, somewhere, is discovering one of these coins for the first time. People have literally been holding these pennies in drawers, jars, and piggy banks for decades, never realizing they had a ticket to unimaginable wealth. The thrill isn't just in finding the coin. It's in imagining all the possibilities that come with it. That I remember speaking to a collector who stumbled across one by accident. He wasn't even looking for it. He was sorting through his kids' loose change and almost threw it into the donation jar. That moment of hesitation changed everything. He called every expert he knew, and soon he realized the truth. He was holding $1 million penny in his hand. That it's not just about luck. Knowledge matters. Knowing how to identify the coin can make the difference between missing your fortune and claiming it. Look for the missing mint mark, examine the date for doubling, Check the alignment and spacing of the letters, and always compare it with a standard penny from the same year. These subtle details separate ordinary coins from extraordinary treasures. You're at a family gathering, going through a bowl of coins, and your eyes catch a glint that seems different. You pick it up, examine it, and slowly realize this is the penny you've been hearing about for years. It's real, it's yours, and it's worth over $1 million. Collectors and dealers have been chasing these coins for decades. Auction houses sometimes pay seven-figure sums for a verified 1981 no-mint mark penny. The hype isn't just online chatter. It's real money, real excitement, and real life-changing potential. And it's all hiding in plain sight. Even if you've looked through your change 100 times, it's worth another look. Remember, this isn't just any coin. It's a piece of history, a hidden gem, and a potential fortune. Every penny tells a story, but this one tells a story of wealth, mystery, and possibility. So take a moment. Grab that old jar of coins in the back of your drawer. Examine every 1981 penny. Look for the missing mint mark. Check the doubling. Compare every detail. One moment of attention, one careful glance, could be the difference between ordinary change and a life-altering discovery. This coin reminds us that treasures aren't always buried in secret vaults or locked away in safes. Sometimes they're in your pocket, your purse, your kitchen drawer. They've been there all along, waiting for someone to notice, waiting for someone to realize their true value. But what if I told you that one penny, just one, could be worth over $1 million? Not in a distant vault, not in some auction far away, but right in your kitchen drawer, hiding in plain sight. That's exactly what happened with the 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, and collectors are still stunned. Most people toss pennies without a second thought. But this coin has a secret, a tiny detail that separates ordinary pennies from something that could change your life. Imagine holding a coin in your hand and realizing it's worth more than your house, more than a lifetime of savings. That's the reality for anyone who discovers this 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. The story begins in 1989. Lincoln pennies were rolling out of the Philadelphia Mint by the millions. People were buying soda, paying tolls, and tossing change into jars. Nobody noticed a single, subtle error. Some pennies were struck without a mint mark at all. And while that sounds small, in the coin world, a missing mint mark can be the difference between a few cents and $1 million. Collectors have been chasing these pennies for decades. Dealers have gone through entire boxes of pennies, shaking, inspecting, hoping for a glimpse of the rare no-mint mark variety. And now, with expert grading and authentication, we know exactly what makes this penny so special. Here's how to spot it. First, check the front of the coin. It should have Lincoln's portrait, clear, sharp, like any other penny from 1989. But then look closely near the date. Normally, there's a tiny D or S mint mark beneath the year. On this coin, there is none. No mark at all. Just the date, and Lincoln, silently sitting there, waiting. But it is. Only a few pennies escape the mint without a mark. And out of millions of pennies produced that year, just a handful are verified to exist. That rarity is what drives the value. Over $1 million for a single coin in pristine condition. Collectors describe the moment they find one as surreal. Some even say it feels like destiny. Imagine opening a jar of pennies and suddenly realizing you're holding something that could make you a millionaire. Your heart races. Your hands shake. It's more than money. It's proof that hidden treasures still exist, hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone with sharp eyes and patience. Every coin has a story. This penny traveled through decades of everyday life, vending machines, tip jars, parking meters, and yet it survived, untouched, unnoticed until now. The idea that something so small, so common, could carry so much value is almost unbelievable. But for those who know what to look for, it's a life-changing discovery. Let's go deeper. The edges are important. This penny has a perfectly smooth rim, a hallmark of the Philadelphia Mint strike. The copper color should be warm, with subtle highlights, not dulled or corroded. Scratches, cleaning, or where can drastically reduce its value. So handle it with care if you ever think you've found one. Lighting. Hold the coin under a bright light. Tilt it slowly. Watch for reflections. That missing mint mark becomes obvious when the light hits just right. It's a small moment of revelation. Wait a minute, could this be it? moment that every collector dreams of, but the suspense doesn't end there. Even if you find a penny that looks perfect, authentication is crucial. Professional grading companies examine the coin's strike, metal composition, and even microscopic details to ensure it's genuine. The difference between a real 1989 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny and a near match can be hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. This coin isn't just about money. It's a symbol of discovery, patience, and luck. It reminds us that treasures can hide in the most ordinary places, in drawers, jars, or forgotten coin rolls. People who discover this penny often describe it as a magical moment, a collision of history, rarity, and fortune. Imagine telling your friends, your family, or even strangers that the coin in your hand is worth over $1 million. The disbelief, the awe, it's unlike anything else in the world. And it all started as a single penny, minted quietly, slipping through the cracks of history. Oh, here's the bottom line. If you're sorting through pennies, keep your eyes sharp. Check every detail near the date. Look for the absence of a mint mark. Handle the coin gently. And if you ever think you found one, don't rush. Authentication will confirm it. And then you'll know. The rarest Lincoln penny of 1989 can transform an ordinary life into something extraordinary. Shock, awe, excitement, and a life forever changed. And now, with this knowledge, you have the same opportunity. A penny hiding in plain sight could be your ticket to something you never imagined. The 1989 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is more than just copper and metal. It's history, luck, and a chance at a fortune. Every day, ordinary Americans pass by this coin, never realizing the power in their hands. But now, the secret is out. Imagine holding a penny in your hand, a coin you've seen 1,000 times before, and realizing it could be worth over $1 million. That's right. A single, ordinary-looking 1988 Lincoln penny, hiding in plain sight, has the potential to completely change someone's life. You might even be holding one right now without knowing it. The story of this coin begins in the late 1980s, a time when pennies were so common they jingled in pockets, got lost in couch cushions, and were tossed into tip jars without a second thought. But among millions of these everyday coins, a very small number of 1988 pennies were struck without the mint mark that normally identifies where they came from. No D for Denver. No S for San Francisco. Just a plain, ordinary penny. Yet this absence is what makes it extraordinary. Collectors first noticed these coins years after they were minted. They didn't jump out at anyone at first. In fact, most people would pass one by, thinking it was just another penny. But experts quickly realized that the missing mint mark made this coin incredibly rare. And rare, in the world of coin collecting, is almost always worth a fortune. The excitement grew as these pennies began surfacing in collections and at auctions. A coin that might have been tucked in a drawer or piggy bank for decades suddenly became the talk of the numismatic world. It wasn't just the rarity that made it special, it was the story. The idea that an ordinary coin, made for everyday commerce, could hold such hidden value is what turns collectors into detectives, searching for a piece of history that could make them millionaires overnight. It starts with careful inspection. Hold the coin up to a bright light and look closely at the area where a mint mark would normally appear under the date. On a typical 1988 penny, you'll see a small D or S just below the year. On the no mint mark variety, that area is completely blank. It seems simple, but this tiny detail is the key that unlocks a coin worth over $1 million. But rarity alone isn't enough to make a coin truly valuable. Condition matters. A penny that has been scratched, corroded, or worn from decades in circulation is less likely to fetch record prices. Collectors look for coins that retain crisp detail, with sharp edges and a smooth, lustrous surface. Even minor imperfections can affect its value, which is why professional grading is often the next step for anyone who believes they've found a no-mint mark 1988 Lincoln penny. No one knows exactly how many of these pennies exist. Estimates suggest that only a tiny fraction of the millions minted that year are no-mint mark varieties. That rarity fuels the frenzy. Auctions have seen these coins sell for life-changing amounts, making ordinary collectors suddenly very wealthy. Million-dollar deals have been struck over a coin that, for most of its life, was just pocket change. Every time a new one appears, the excitement resets. Imagine scrolling through an online auction or visiting a coin show and spotting one of these elusive pennies. The heart races. The mind spins. Could this be the moment you've been waiting for? That moment when an everyday coin in your collection transforms into $1 million treasure? And while experts warn to be cautious, they also highlight how thrilling it is to discover a no-mint mark 1988 penny in circulation. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, except the needle is worth more than a house. This coin carries a mystery, a story, and a tangible connection to history, all in the palm of your hand. For anyone serious about spotting one, there are a few key tips. First, examine any 1988 pennies in your collection or loose change. Look for a coin without a mint mark beneath the date. Then, check its condition carefully. Even minor scratches or discoloration can affect value, but a coin that looks near mint is exactly what collectors are hunting for. Lastly, consider professional grading if you believe you have a genuine no-mint mark penny. This can certify its rarity and significantly increase its market value. Even seasoned collectors admit the thrill of the hunt is part of the allure. Every time you sort through coins, there's a tiny chance that the next penny you pick up could be worth more than $1 million. The suspense is real, the stakes are high, and the reward could be life-changing. Imagine telling your friends or family that a coin you found in a jar or in your pocket could make you a millionaire. That's the emotional pull of the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. It turns everyday life into a treasure hunt, where history, chance, and a little luck collide. You don't need to be a professional collector to find one. This penny could be sitting right next to your spare change, forgotten in a drawer, or tucked into an old coin roll. All it takes is a careful eye, a little patience, and the knowledge of what to look for. The thrill of discovery, the suspense of sorting through coins, the heart-pounding moment when you finally spot that blank space under the date. It's all part of the experience. For many, it's not just about the money. It's about holding history, a piece of a moment in time that few people ever get to see. And for those lucky enough to find one, it's about the life-changing potential that comes with recognizing a coin that could be worth over $1 million. So, the next time you open a drawer or dig through a jar of pennies, remember the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Look carefully, examine every coin, and think about the stories behind each one. Because this is more than just a penny. It's a symbol of possibility, a reminder that extraordinary value can hide in the most ordinary places. Yet, this isn't a story from a movie. It's real, and it's hiding in plain sight. In 2016, the U.S. Mint released millions of pennies, each meant for everyday transactions. Most of them went unnoticed, carried in pockets, piggy banks, and cash registers. But among them, a tiny fraction holds a secret so shocking it could make collectors gasp. The 2016 D. Lincoln penny. One slight variation, one minuscule error, and suddenly an everyday penny becomes a treasure beyond imagination. Imagine buying a cup of coffee, paying with what seems like a normal penny, and later discovering that coin could be worth $1 million. The very thought can make your heart race. Millions of Americans pass pennies by every day, unaware that hidden within their change could be a life-changing find. This penny's backstory is shrouded in mystery. Minting errors happen rarely, almost like lightning striking twice in the same place. A misaligned die, a doubled image, or a subtle imprint difference. These tiny anomalies are the gateway to millions. And collectors around the world are chasing them relentlessly. People who discovered one of these pennies didn't just get lucky. They became part of a hidden legacy stretching back decades. Now, you might be thinking, how could I possibly know if a penny in my hand is worth millions? That's where your detective skills come into play. The 2016 D. Lincoln penny has a few key markers that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. Look closely at the date. A slight doubling or unusual indentation on the 2016 can indicate a rare mint error. Inspect Lincoln's profile on the front. The cheek, the jawline, even the tip of the nose can reveal subtle doubling. Flip the coin over and examine the Lincoln Memorial. Tiny shifts in the columns or steps are a clue to this penny's hidden value. Collectors who understand these nuances have turned ordinary change into fortunes. They know patience, careful observation, and a keen eye are the difference between walking past $1 million coin and holding it in your hand. Imagine the excitement when, after years of collecting, someone finally spots the error, the perfect alignment that no one else has seen. The moment is electric. You don't need to travel to auctions or hunt through hundreds of coins at a time. Every day, coins are exchanged, forgotten, and discarded. That means this exact penny could be closer than you think, maybe even in your own pocket or drawer. It amplifies desire. There are only a handful of 2016 D. Lincoln pennies with this specific error in existence. Every collector, every dealer knows the story, and the hunt is fierce. Yet, for one lucky person, the thrill isn't in the search, but in the discovery. Finding a coin that could transform a life overnight. A coin worth over $1 million. The value is staggering, but the journey to understanding it is equally captivating. You'll need a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, a steady hand, and an attentive eye. Examine each detail, trust your instincts, and don't rush. Every tiny imperfection is a clue, every unusual mark a potential key to unlocking unimaginable wealth. And think about the emotions tied to this. Excitement, disbelief, awe, all rushing through the veins as you realize what you've held in your hand for years. Maybe it was in a drawer, a collection, or your change jar, quietly waiting for you to notice. The 2016 D. Lincoln penny isn't just metal. It's a story of patience, luck, and the thrill of discovery. Collectors who stumble upon one experience something unforgettable. Calls to dealers, hours of research, and sleepless nights of anticipation. The suspense builds as they confirm the error, the rarity, and finally, the staggering market value. And then it hits. One coin, worth over $1 million, just like that. Lives are changed in an instant. Imagine telling friends, family, or even strangers that you own a coin worth millions. The disbelief in their eyes, the questions, the awe. And yet, it could all begin with a simple moment. Noticing something unusual on a penny that everyone else overlooks. Time and again, history shows us that life-changing coins are hiding in the most mundane places. People have found rare pennies in jars, under cushions, or even among coins meant for laundry machines. Every discovery is a reminder that treasures are often closer than we imagine, waiting for the one person who will see them for what they truly are. So when you next reach for a penny, don't just see it as a piece of copper. See it as a potential key to a story bigger than yourself. Look closer, inspect carefully, and trust that spark of curiosity that tells you something might be different. That intuition has made ordinary collectors into millionaires overnight. This isn't just about money. It's about the thrill, the hunt, and the awe-inspiring reality that fortune can hide in the tiniest of places. It's the story of chance, observation, and the incredible value of noticing the details everyone else misses. And remember, the thrill isn't only in finding it. It's knowing that somewhere, right now, this penny exists. Waiting for the moment it will transform someone's life forever. But somewhere in America, right now, someone could be holding a coin worth over $1.4 million, and they don't even know it. A simple Lincoln penny, tucked away in a pocket, a jar, or an old coin roll, hiding in plain sight, ready to change someone's life forever. Yes, a single penny, worth more than most people earn in decades. But not just any penny. We're talking about the 1979 Lincoln penny, no mint mark. It's rare, mysterious, and shockingly valuable. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to spot it, why collectors are losing their minds, and how this ordinary coin could make someone a millionaire almost overnight. Here's the story. Back in 1979, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies. Most were ordinary, rolled out, and spent without a second thought. But a handful of coins emerged differently. A mistake in production, a small variation that was overlooked at the time, created a penny that collectors now call a hidden treasure. For decades, these pennies sat quietly in pockets, jars, and drawers, unnoticed, until one day, someone realized the truth. That ordinary penny from 1979, worth millions today. Think about that. A coin you might have walked past in your change at the grocery store, completely ordinary to everyone else. But for a collector, it's $1 million jackpot. First, check the date. It must be 1979. No mint mark. That's the small letter that usually appears under Lincoln's shoulder. Coins from Denver have a D. Coins from Philadelphia in 1979 didn't have any mark. That's the one we're hunting. Next, inspect the strike. This coin is known for a very particular feature, a sharp, clear detail in Lincoln's bust. The lines of his hair, the contour of his jaw, they are precise, almost perfect. A sloppy strike or worn coin won't do. Collectors are paying million-dollar prices for coins that are flawless or nearly flawless. But the magic isn't just in the minting. It's in the story. This penny represents a rare moment where chance, history, and luck collide. Millions of pennies were made that year. Only a tiny fraction survived, perfectly preserved, without a mint mark, and untouched by time. Those are the coins that drive collectors wild. Here's where it gets really interesting. Even if your coin looks ordinary, small details can reveal its worth. Look at the edges. A smooth, even rim is crucial. Check Lincoln's cheekbone and jawline. Are the letters in Liberty crisp? Is the date sharp? These tiny details separate an ordinary penny from a multi-million-dollar treasure. But history proves it. Collectors have bought similar coins for astounding sums, life-changing sums, because the combination of rarity, condition, and history creates unmatched value. That's why every single detail matters. Someone opens a dusty old coin roll from 1979, and there it is. A coin they probably spent as a child, forgotten for decades, suddenly worth over $1 million. That's the thrill of collecting. That's why coin enthusiasts chase these finds. It's the ultimate mix of nostalgia, suspense, and opportunity. Now, here's the next secret. Even if you've looked at pennies 1,000 times, most people miss the subtle cues. You need good lighting, a magnifying glass, and patience. Inspect every coin carefully. Look for clear edges, sharp details, no damage, no scratches, no fading. That's what turns a common coin into $1 million prize. Collectors who know this story are constantly searching. They check loose change, old jars, vintage collections. Sometimes they find nothing. Sometimes they find a coin that will forever change their life. And for you, that could be the moment you've been waiting for. But here's the most thrilling part. These coins aren't all in museums. They aren't locked in vaults. They're out there, in homes, wallets, and forgotten drawers, waiting for someone to notice. That's what makes the 1979 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny so extraordinary. And you don't have to be a professional to recognize it. Anyone can follow the steps: date, mint mark, strike, condition, and detail. Once you know what to look for, the hunt becomes irresistible. Every coin you touch could be the one that changes your life. Imagine holding it in your hand. A coin smaller than a fingernail, yet more valuable than most homes. Millions of dollars in your palm. A simple piece of history, yet a gateway to unimaginable wealth. That's the emotional power of coin collecting. The suspense, the anticipation, the dream that this one small object can change everything. Some collectors even describe it as a spiritual experience. The thrill of discovery, the rush of recognition, the knowledge that something ordinary could be extraordinary. That's why this coin isn't just money. It's hope, opportunity, a symbol of the unexpected, and the good news is, it's still out there. Thousands of coins were made in 1979. Only a few have been verified as high-value, no-mint mark pennies. That means there are still coins waiting to be discovered, quietly lying in drawers, jars, and collections. So here's your call to action. Look at your pennies. Examine your rolls. Check those old collections. Learn the details. Study Lincoln's bust, the edges, the date. Become an expert in spotting the rare. Because one lucky find could change your life forever. Remember, the thrill isn't just in finding money. It's in uncovering history, revealing the hidden story, and experiencing the suspense of discovery. And when you finally hold that perfect 1979 no-mint mark penny, you'll understand why collectors are obsessed, why they chase it tirelessly, and why a single coin can be worth over $1 million. This isn't a dream. It's reality. A coin produced over 40 years ago, nearly forgotten, yet today it represents life-changing value. Every detail counts. Every coin could be the one. Ordinary pennies can hide extraordinary secrets. And one moment, one discovery, one perfect penny could redefine everything.